right, welcome back to D&D, everyone. So, last time you had managed to make your way back into the city of Kirog. You met with a few people. You were able to make some deals with the various representatives from the Dragon Fire Foundry. You're able to talk to the author, Klein, and give him some information about the dragons you fought. And you were able to talk to the wizard and turn in some information. Didn't get paid for the spiders because you didn't bring them back, or at least you only got paid for half. While you were there in Kirog, you spent the night, and then you eventually spoke to a representative from the Order of the Yard, who informed you of more information about the bounty for the crypt robber down south in the Ironwald, as well as giving you some information that there are two groups who are causing trouble in the woods, and you've just been asked to clear them out by the Count. Oh yes, and of course the crypts that are actually being robbed are related to the various dwarven clans in the area.
I like the sound of this bounty and robbing crypts. I mean, stopping the robbing.
Yeah, no, the other one, the other one.
Well, you are at the south gate leading out of town.
We were gonna go see the priest for the dwarves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and you'd also acquired some maps from a local cartographer.
Yeah, and we wanted to get the maps on where the crypts are from the dwarves. Yep. If I remember right, and that's why we stopped because Watchmaker, or not, oh my God, Watchmaker.
We go to
Graham
the
would
cartographer.
be interested in talking to like some dwarven priestesses about that probably.
I like the idea of spelunking into crypts.
Except if you go in there, you're kind of screwed.
Hey, now remember, we're stopping the grave robbing. We're not doing any grave robbing.
Right, of course.
Graham's
Right,
like
of course,
actually
of course,
shaking
yes,
his finger at you.
Yeah,
It's all the Marine
because
knife hand.
I asked about the maps for where the crypts are, but those are held by the dwarves at the dwarven little priest.
Well, guys, something you don't know about me is I speak Dwarvish. So I can communicate for us. I will charm them
I trust you to communicate for us, Kaido.
Yeah,
with
we're
my
not doing that.
personality.
I don't trust you to communicate with them effectively, but I'm here for the entertainment.
Oh,
Excuse
I
me.
speak Dwarvish too.
Perfect. Look at us, both of us.
Let's see.
The best communicators on the team are on the job.
So,
Confidence is at 100.
Confidence is an insidious killer.
Yes, it is.
Over.
For cats.
No, in the Darkest Dungeon too.
Oh wait, that's curiosity, not confidence. Fuck, I really am not good with this communication stuff. Okay.
Alright, so we're heading to Temple.
So if we want to go talk to those dwarf priestesses or whatever,
We can go talk to dwarvish people. And that leads to the crypt hunting, crypt
they
gathering.
might provide us with maps to where they are, and otherwise we're screwed. And we have to find it on our own.
Is that the closest thing to us geographically? That's the closest next thing
yeah,
to
we
do.
said we would get it on our way back home
Yep.
from the war.
Okay.
I think, didn't we also leave it like, let's just go talk to you when we're back and you'll send us on our way to where we got to go? Or did we already do that by getting the maps?
We kind of did that by getting the maps. The wizards didn't actually have any idea where we were going anyway. So we couldn't just get poofed right there.
Okay, so let's go mingle with some dwarvish priestesses and priests. Priests and priestesses? Holy people of the dwarvish kind.
Yeah. That you're gonna act honorably for.
I'm gonna act honorably. I mean, that's not a question. Yes, I'm going to act honorably.
Well, you have
He's doing his best.
you do have the maps that show various trails and camps for the actual Ironwald.
Ironwald. Okay.
which is the forest just south of Kirog. That big stretch of forest there. So probably stretch a good, probably like 3-4 days worth of like travel by foot. Probably even
Okay.
more than that if you don't know quite where you're looking.
Or the map specific enough for us to know where we're going to find, or do we not know exactly
There's
where they're
trails
located?
to the logging areas and just getting through the forest. There's nothing on where the crypts are.
Oh.
Right.
Because the dwarves have that because they don't want that to be common knowledge.
Right.
Do you think we can get additional information from the logging area maybe once we get there, or?
Probably not because those are the ones that are probably controlling the illegal groups you have to get out of there.
Cool.
That's why we wanted to go to like the dwarven temples or whatever.
Dwarven temples in the city?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Then I guess we'll go there to
Shout out to the
gather more
dwarves.
information. Yeah.
Like, yo, we're gonna stop those crypt robbers. Tell
Also,
us where your crypt's at.
We're not into crypto.
Also, Flip was the one that has the bounty hunting like shenanigans to keep somebody tied down.
Oh yeah, we bought like the
FYI.
handcuffs and stuff.
Delve into the dwarven crypts, and they're full of NFTs.
Turn pyramid scheme.
Blast.
Turn pyramid scheme.
So I just thought of an idea. I do know how to speak Dwarvish, but what if we keep that on the down low? Here's the best of both worlds. Somebody who's better than me can talk because I'm becoming self-aware that my talking skills are not great.
I'll talk to dwarves.
Val is
slowly
teaching
I don't
me.
speak dwarvish, but you do. I'll tell you
However,
what to say.
Yeah, however, I want to be there just in case they speak amongst themselves and I know exactly what's going on, just in case, we know we're doing something correct or maybe we're doing something bad. And then if I have to chime in Dwarvish, then maybe we'll go like that. But I think we should go with our best foot forward. And unfortunately, and I say this with a heavy heart, I don't think I'm the good foot, right? I feel like I'm a little flat-footed in this situation.
Not only are you flat-footed, you're 2 left feet.
God damn it, Otto. You kick me down when I'm the most vulnerable right now.
I pat Kai on the back. That makes you endearing.
What do you think of that idea? The alternative is I go in speaking Dwarvish.
Don't do that.
Okay.
No, I think we should just go and like talk
They
to them.
probably speak common anyway.
Yeah,
so.
they speak common. It's fine.
If they're in the city, I would assume they speak common.
You always get better deals when you speak their native tongue. Everybody knows that.
Okay. So, what are you all doing?
We're gonna head over to the temple, and then we're gonna improv from there.
Oh God.
Well, make either an investigation or a religion check in order to determine the location of the temples.
All right, I could do an investigation.
Yeah, I'll assist on that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's take that first.
Well, you're able to find the temple district without too much trouble. Heading in, the temples takes about like 30 minutes to actually get there from where you are. The temples themselves are smaller versions of the large one in Vaxfall itself. So they're very painted with a lot of different colors that kind of mishmash together. But, it's variety of temples all in this row flanking the street you're on. And they all look to have similar architecture.
Like, they're all dwarven architecture?
Well, they're all technically Arwellan architecture, but yes.
Are they all manned by dwarves? Is this like Dwarf Temple Street, or is this just a variety of different temples?
This is just temples.
Anybody seen dwarves?
Can I do a religion check now that we're here?
Yes, go ahead.
Let's try it.
You find a temple that does have a number of dwarves entering in and out of it. The cleric itself there does appear to be dwarven.
Well, this might be the place. Let's go in and ask.
Yeah.
Okay. You see them in like the bright colored robes that they wear, lighting candles, saying prayers. This specifically would be a temple dedicated to Fair, goddess of harvest and crafting.
Obviously, they made the survival genre in Steam.
But yeah, inside you see a lot of dwarves. This was primarily dwarvish, but you do see a number of humans, elves, half elves, and other races, orcs, as well as occasional goblin and kobold. And yes, you see numerous priests and clerics around.
Okay.
Someone's at my door. Just give me 1 second. I think it's Mormons. Please hold.
Roll for initiative.
Word of our Lord Saint.
It's actually dwarves here to tell him about the dwarven religion.
You should tell the Mormons about the Dwarven religion.
Yeah, there you go.
They're there to tell Rami about Slanesh.
But what would you all like to do?
Is there any dwarven priesty-like thing person that looks more distinguished than the rest that maybe is open to?
You'd see a older dwarven man, finer clothes, golden chain around his neck. His hair has gone white. He does appear to be the oldest of the clerics.
Let's go talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay. As you approach, Hell, greetings and good health, Fred. How can I help you?
Hey, let's see. Do you want to do a talking grammar or do you want me to do it?
You please go ahead.
Okay. We've what was the person's name again? I can't remember.
The person who is like
Sathara
with the bounty?
Leith? Yeah.
Sathara Leth.
All right. So we've acquired a bounty. Well, I'll tell him first of all. I'm with the Order of the Yard.
Okay.
And Sathara Leth has apparently been doing grave robbing at dwarven sites to the south, and we're wondering if you've heard of any information about this.
Oh, well, the dwarven sites, I'm assuming you mean the Barrow Crypts?
Yeah.
Yes, those are held by the dwarven clans. I'm not part of those specific clans, but I believe there is a temple down south and well, last I heard, I think we have some trade missions going to the let's see, what's that town's name? Finby, that's what it is. Yes, there's a temple in a town down to the south a bit. You have to travel about a day or two down that way, but just follow the river.
Are all the dwarven clans that are represented in these crypts there? Or are they just more?
Oh, well, the dwarven clans in this area. I mean, you have the Frost River, the Bitterbane, the Silver Belt, and the Underforge.
So our best bet is to go down to the town and see if they've heard anything.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would recommend. This specific temple here, we do have a majority dwarvish parishioners, but we are open for all. The temple to the south, however, is specific for the dwarven clans and does their funeral rites.
Are we going to have any difficulty as we don't have any dwarves?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to get buried in the crypts if that's what you're wondering.
No.
Of course, neither can I, because I'm not a member of the clans, but...
I don't think any of us plan to perish anytime soon.
Well, you never know.
Look at Kaido, most of us.
I'm going to live forever.
You won't.
That's what you think. Pipple's like secretly planning to become a lich, and he's gonna be the big bad evil in the next campaign.
Could
Be
be.
interesting lich.
Ian just wrote that down on his second screen. I saw it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, it sounds like they're not going to bar us at the door from working with them or anything.
No,
so I think
especially since we want to get this person before they get their family stuff stolen.
Before they grave rob them.
Yeah, let's head down that way.
Yeah.
I will thank him. Thank you, sir, for your helpful information.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can do before you leave?
Does anybody here need anything?
No.
My memory is string cheese. I sure hope not.
Okay, well.
I'll leave him a donation.
Oh, how much are you donating?
How much? What's appropriate out of character?
I would say anywhere between 1 silver to 1 gold would be
I'll
fine.
give him a gold.
Oh, I thank you. The temple gives praise to you. Here, just as a quick prayer over you. No mechanical benefit, but...
You're now immune to werewolves.
Does he say the prayer in Dwarvish?
Yes.
What is the prayer? What does he say?
The blessings of the forge upon you. May you have a good a good harvest season, and may your crafts be strong. And
okay, I will remember that when we go to the
Hail Mary, full of grace, slap a chicken in the face.
That means I need to go. That means I need to go upgrade one of my weapons in Dark Tide because that's going to be an orange. All right. Let's head down to River, I guess.
What was it? Finby?
Yep.
And this was the nearest of our remaining loose end side quests?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he also mentioned, not this dwarf, but you were told about the 2 various groups that are causing issues with the lumber and the actual...
They're literally in the same forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're it's like a 1-2.
So we'll head down towards the burial sites and the dwarven temple there, and if we run into the logging camp shit on the way, I guess we'll tackle that.
Okay.
Is that the idea?
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Where is Finby?
Finby would be about on the map here.
Oh, down there? That's even further.
Oh, dang. Okay.
They said it was like a 2-day trip.
Okay.
Off to Finby then, right?
That's a Finby.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well, you're able to find the southern gate out of Kirog without too much trouble. And heading down that way, you do see that it doesn't take too much effort to find the Ironwalled Forest, even though the forest itself is probably a good 1,000 feet from the actual city walls themselves. The trees of the Ironwalled are several hundred feet tall and very thick. You probably could, each of you would be able to hold hands and kind of ring the trunk of one of these trees.
Neat.
It's definitely a very, very tall, strong-looking tree. Takes a lot of effort to even remove one of them. There is a road that runs parallel to the actual river itself that you're able to follow that does not go into the actual woods themselves. But you do see several trails and roads that are leading from the city into the actual forest.
Sweet.
So you're heading on the trail following the river?
Parallel to the river, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would assume we don't want to go into the forest quite yet.
All right. Well, it's a cold day. See the ice beginning to form along the actual bank of the river. The chunks of ice are beginning to flow through the center of the river itself, but it is getting colder and colder, and the river does appear to be starting to freeze. Snow and frost coat the ground, but the actual trail you're traveling along has been tamped down and stamped down by people traveling along it, either by foot or by horse or by carriage. And you do actually see the occasional traveler going up and from the actual like city itself. But in this colder weather, most people have begun to bunker down for the actual winter itself. You see the occasional person, as well as on horseback, people in black with the saddlebags you would recognize as being trail wardens.
Graham will tip his hat as they go by.
As you tip your hat, the trail warden tips his hat to you, Graham.
What are trail wardens? They're like state troopers. Is that what we're
They
saying?
cover a few different things.
They're
Primarily,
the U.S. Postal Service with police duties.
yeah,
Okay, got it.
they keep the trails safe between towns, and they will also take letters and packages from one town to the other.
Gotcha.
They're all the courier from Fallout New Vegas.
Well, maybe not that tough, but the right idea.
But do their spurs jingle jangle? I have to know.
They do, yes, quite well.
Thank God. All right, let's roll right merrily along.
All right. Well, it was early morning when you had previously spoken to the younger member of the Order of the Yard who told you about gave you more information about the bounty. So it's around like 10 a.m. now. As you travel through the trail, you do see the occasional small cottage or shack built along the road. Do see some people in some camps along the actual edge of the iron wall itself. But the day passes without incident. Once it gets to about 4 p.m., dusk has really set in, and the sun has begun to dip below the horizon.
Stupid winter.
The days are much shorter, especially up far to the north like you are.
Makes fits. All right.
Make a camp.
Yeah. If we're not going to get to any of the ones. What the fuck is the cat doing?
What is Lucian doing? I don't know anymore.
I don't know what the cat's doing aside from making nebulous noises downstairs.
Well, that's exactly what Lucian's doing. Isn't that funny?
It's not a cat. It's some type of thing.
Legend has it Lucian is probably sleeping on top of one of those trees, and then the spirit of the forest will call him. He'll fall right off.
No, he's wet nursing one of his spider babies.
I don't even know how that would work, and it's a little horrifying to think about it.
Constitution checks.
All right. Well, as you settle down for the night, well, you need to eat, so either remove a ration from.
No, I've been casting Heroes Feast.
Oh, okay. Or the
not Heroes Feast. That's the super cool one.
Food and water.
Create food and yeah.
Okay.
And it lasts for explicitly 24 hours, so we should be able to do a whole breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe even breakfast the next day. But meh.
Okay.
You're able to 1 hour early.
Cast that spell.
Yep.
All right. And who is taking watch for the evening?
Graham will get his out of the way first, I guess.
$25 grab bag gift.
Nice.
Definitely not a gift card. You can't tell because it's square.
Nice. Is it a gift card though?
Yes.
Genius.
The gift card that I got for free yesterday because I picked up my groceries and they forgot my bag of frozen shit, which usually I would ignore, but it was like $40 worth of stuff. So I was like, I need my stuff. And they were like, here's your stuff and also a gift card. And I was like, haha, grab bag.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Good, all right.
It's always exciting.
Excited by my cleverness.
All right.
Who's blind? They can wants to go again.
I am blind, but I have Val who sometimes.
You know what? You should go with Graham because
like,
it'll help you be honorable.
I have like goggles of night or something, unless that's Rocketile. That might be Rocketile.
That's Rocketile.
Well, you have the goggles at night. I gave them to you.
21 perception for my watch.
All right. Yeah, Graham. I mean, the watch
those.
travel like without incident. It's a quiet night, although it's cold. Frost begins to coat the tents you own, but it does pass without incident.
Hey, were we supposed to imprison or kidnap somebody? Oh, this is the for the crypt robber. This is why I have
Yeah,
these
that's where we're headed
Yes.
now.
That's where we're heading.
Good.
I can take whichever watch, and we can have like Aurora with someone if we want to split.
I'll
or
take
whatever.
Aurora. I need to get some quality time with the dog because we're on a rocky relationship right now.
Okay.
Your Facebook status, it's complicated with a freaking dog.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you just did the watch with Graham. So.
I thought that was that Fiffle?
Oh, maybe. I don't know who did.
All right, well, who's doing second and who's doing third watch?
I can do either because I have night vision.
I'll take second watch.
I'll take third watch. I like to get up early and scheme.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Well, Graham was by himself then. I don't know.
Graham.
Or was he with He was with Aurora. Or no, I'll go with Graham on the first watch, and Aurora can go with Kaido.
Yay!
Okay.
So
I'm excited.
Don't fail any checks and get us ambushed. I gotta go see what the fuck my cat is doing.
I can't promise anything.
All right. Kaido, go ahead and do a perception check.
All right. Well, I don't have dark vision, but if I'm with Aurora, does that cancel out?
Yeah. It'll just be flat.
All right. My perception sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's a nice night.
Torn apart by werewolves.
Nothing crazy going on.
I'm talking to Aurora and Val all night, so I'm a little distracted.
So the real question is, Lena, how does Aurora react to Kaido?
She's just,
animal handling check.
Just sitting there. She wants him to pet her.
All right, Kaido, go ahead. Make an animal handling check to.
Oh God!
It's a low DC. I mean, it doesn't take that much effort.
It's low.
But Kaido's a bit heavy-handed with Aurora. Yeah. She's just so fluffy.
She's a little bit annoyed, but she's okay.
Does Val yell at him because he's doing it wrong?
I don't think Val knows how to pet.
Although Val is telepathically communicating with Kaido. Kaido, what are we doing currently?
We are just making sure the party is safe and that this dog will not hate me in the near future.
Why would this creature hate you?
I don't know. Creatures don't tend to really like me too much. I'm not really sure why.
Perhaps you should give them food?
It's not a bad idea. God, you're so smart. I have half a ration. I'll take half a ration and feed it to... It's probably frozen at this point, but I'll try anyways. Feed it to Aurora.
Aurora, I assume, eats the ration.
Yeah, she'll eat it.
There you go.
Kaido, what is our mission and our goal?
We're gonna go talk to some dwarvish people, and we're gonna figure out what's going on with the crypt situation. I'm gonna be honest with you, Val. I just walk around with this party. They really kind of guide where we're going, and I just make sure that we're all safe and we're having fun. But don't ask me, quest specific things. I just follow along. I don't know.
You should have more initiative.
Say, not the smartest, My initiative is a +1, but yeah, I definitely could have more.
Be more ambitious, Kaito.
I'm working on it, Val. I'm working on it.
Are you a leader or a follower?
As of right now, I'm a little bit more in the middle of just a follower,
because I work with leaders.
Oh. Well, maybe with your help I could possibly lead. But right now it feels like I'm not quite there yet. On the plus side, I have enough self-reflection to see that I'm not quite there yet, so that's gotta give me a couple of points there, right, Val?
Perhaps.
Okay. But I'm working on it. However, I am honorable. To make sure the team is safe, like I am right now, fully in tune with my surroundings. I have a 4, by the way, for perception. Fully in tune with my surroundings. And nothing is going to come touch this camp. Nothing.
A
Ian
deer
is
is eating your rations, Kaito.
Oh my! So Aurora found her way into my the whole entire stack of rations.
No,
Shit.
there's a small deer that has found its way into your bag and is currently eating one of your rations.
I'm gonna go ahead and say with a perception 4, I don't notice it. Nothing escapes my perception. There's literally a deer next to me.
Come on,
Kaido,
you'll
I'm
care.
telling you, there is currently a deer in your bag eating.
You're like petting the deer thinking it's a
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to canonize that. I am petting the deer thinking it's Aurora. Well, that's a weird saying. I don't understand, Val. A lot of the sayings have changed in 1,000 years. A deer eating your rations. I'm not quite sure that connects with what the sayings are these days. It might have lost its way through translation, but I'll keep that in mind. A deer eating your rations. Don't let a deer eat your rations. Weird.
Usually it's a bear. So you're doing good.
But back to what I was saying. Nothing escapes my perception.
Don't
I'm
know
fully in tune.
how I can elaborate to you, Kaido, that there is literally a deer eating your rations, and you are in the midst of petting it.
All right, at this point, I feel like it's pretty obvious. Oh, shit! Shoo!
The deer kind of skips away from the...
God, Jesus, that was a close one. I'm glad we kept the party safe. You and I, Val. You and I, to the end.
You should check yourself for ticks, Kaito.
Nothing escapes my perception.
That's how you get Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's true. It's a giant target on my head because of the Lyme disease. Nothing escapes it. All right. So besides losing 3 to 4 rations tonight,
just a half ration. The deer was only licking your one of the rations, so it's just a little sticky.
5-second roll.
Your watch passes without incident.
Without too much of an incident. Nice. I'll wake up the next person for the next shift.
I believe that will be Fiffle and Otto.
Me.
All right. One of you just go ahead and roll perception.
We both have dark vision.
Halflings have dark vision?
I gave him the goggles.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
The Googles.
Okay.
So he can roll twice, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Wait, no. This.
Fiffle's very persuasive to the knight. But he also doesn't see anything, and the night passes without incident as the sun begins to peak up over the horizon in the late morning.
I've successfully talked the sun into rising. Go me.
Rushing it.
Fiffle is quite persuasive. But it's a cold morning. A layer of frost has covered your campsite. What's everyone up to currently?
Graham will do another cast of Brekkie.
Okay. Graham creates enough food and water to last you for a full day.
Hooray.
Isn't Fifo's side objectives to get an ostrich mount now? I do recall this somehow.
Yes. Last time we had discussed that Fiffle was made aware of the fact that there are an invasive ostrich species, for the simple fact that the Arwellan Empire had brought ostriches from the south to Viderheim, and they have adapted to the climate.
I can see Graham's face very confused and what the fuck?
Fry ostriches.
Supposed to be getting an ostrich? Did I hear that? Am I sleeping right now, or?
Oh, you almost. Well, Kaido might be asleep, but no, you heard that right.
Nice. That's an awesome mount.
Anyway, I guess we keep going unless there's anything.
We can keep on.
Yeah.
As you continue heading south, you follow the road until you actually reach a point where the road dips into a small kind of it just kind of goes downhill for a bit, and you notice that the actual road itself has flooded for several hundred feet in this lower section. The water in the area probably goes up to your waist for medium-sized creatures.
Oh no.
Wait, are we in the water?
Well, you're
River
not in the
crossing.
water. It's just that the road is flooded from the ice buildup.
Oh my.
Can we break up a chunk of the ice along the river to get its flow back into the bed so we can clear the road?
Make a survival check.
Let's try that.
I shall.
I really
Can I
don't want to
help
play
with
with
survival?
fording the river again.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I can either help or
yeah.
do it.
Do you wanna make the roll?
I can, sure.
Okay, go ahead and roll a survival check.
oh, D4.
All right.
Nice.
And you can add the d4.
And a D4.
Okay, 21. Fern, you're able to find a section of the ice that has kind of got caught and is causing the water to flow onto the actual riverbank itself. And you're able to break that up without too much trouble. But you are probably going to have to wait a couple of hours, 3 to 4 hours at least, in order to have the water drain back into the river enough so that this area is dry again.
Mhm.
But you notice that there are trails leading into the forest itself.
Cast fireball on the road.
You say you cast fireball?
Yeah.
Cast fireball on the road.
That's what I suggested. Yeah.
I have
As a
fireball.
mercy, I don't think we can do that any longer.
You cannot.
Fly the road.
Well, let's try one of those trails into the forest.
Okay.
Yeah, fortunately.
I don't know about forest. I'm getting tired of random forest creatures.
Well, we're gonna be dealing with them one way or the other because I think the
I'd rather deal with
Dwarven
them later.
Mounds and the lumber mills are both.
I
you
know. Yeah, but I'd rather deal with them later.
But we're here to take care of them now.
Yeah. After the dwarves. Just be a smart ass. Let's go.
This is why I don't want to be the party face anymore, Ian. It's fucking exhausting. Every day with this shit.
Yeah, but just imagine Kaido as the party face.
Yeah, we're still level 1.
I gotta be a lead soon, guys. That's what Val's asking me to do.
Graham's gonna train you to be the lead.
Oh God.
All
He's
right.
like,
Graham's
remember,
gonna-
no stupid
Graham's gonna
decision.
die from alcohol poisoning.
No stupid decision. He's like, so I'm going to the whorehouse now?
Yeah, my path to becoming a lich involves pickling my entire body. Just my liver.
So you take one of the trails into the forest itself?
I think so.
Okay.
Sure.
And going onto the trail and walking into the forest, you travel about 100 or so feet when you feel the kind of vibrant life of the forest. The sun seems to be shining brighter through the actual trees. Feels warmer in this area, and you could definitely feel like and smell like this rich, earthy scent, more so than when you were outside of it. The sounds of animals are very prominent in this area as you hear birds chirping, the sounds of the small creatures like chipmunks and squirrels running around. You do see the occasional badger hole, and this area is very. It's like walking into an area of like pure oxygen with how vibrant and bright and excited you feel to be in this section. Fern, you would actually feel somewhat more at home here. as this reminds you a lot of the Feywilds.
Oh, well, I'm gonna tell everyone that that's what it reminds me of.
We're in the Feywilds?
It
There might
It
be a.
reminds her of the Feywild.
it's similar, I think.
We planarly jumped.
We did not planarly jump.
Aiden,
It's just maybe they said this was. There is a way to the Feywild, I think, in here in
Yeah,
this
I think the
forest,
border-
so we're probably kind of close-ish.
You hear
To
that,
it.
Val? We're in the Feywilds.
I can guarantee you're not in the Feywilds, Kaido.
These are what Fey trees feel like. Weird. They're kind of different than regular trees.
Well, the
That's
border
another deer,
between the
Kaido.
material and the Feywilds are less here, so to an extent you're feeling the effects of the Feywild.
Guys, Val agrees that we're in the Feywilds. That's fucking nuts.
Tell me about the
I'm
Feywild.
gonna look at Kaido and
They
see.
enjoy
I don't
gambling
think he agrees with you. He's probably questioning your sanity.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So we're gonna find a portal to the Feywilds and introduce gambling to their dimension, or what's the plan?
Well, do we feel? Can I do an Arcana check around this this forest? Do I
Yeah.
feel anything?
You can do an Arcana check.
What the fuck is going on? I think I'm just rolling a D10.
Well, you were
Would've been a four.
informed.
We're 100% in the Feywilds.
Can I
were
roll
informed.
Can I roll an Arcana check to contradict them?
Go ahead.
Please be in that one.
Okay.
Damn it.
You were informed that the border between the material plane and the Feywild is thinner in this area, and that's why the trees are growing larger and are so much more impressive compared to the other trees in the area. So you're not in the Feywild. You're still in the material plane, but it's easier to get to the Feywild as it bleeds through.
Guys, I'm really starting to think we might not be in the Feywilds.
We've been telling you we're not.
Oh, okay. Well, hear that, Val? Leading the group.
Sometimes a family is one fighter child and 8 parents.
Hey, listen. Don't bring my personal life into this
8
shit.
disappointed parents.
God,
You
it's really-
retroactively justified my family's abuse of me, Ronnie.
Oh, God. Maybe we're related. It's really snowing outside, everybody. It's snowing
Yes, it
real
is.
hard.
Actual snow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's not
I
snowing
think that's
here.
why the cats are going squirrely.
Huh. Well, it fits the mood considering how cold I've been describing everything. So yeah,
It's hot here. What are you talking about?
silence.
Silence.
But yes, you are in a very vibrant area. Like the colors are, the greens are greener. All the various colors seem to be more. You're on a trail that leads a little bit further into the forest itself.
These are so green, man. Let's continue in this.
Fiffle kind of wonders what drugs may grow in a Feywild influenced forest.
Probably good ones.
I mean, did you see lots of different mushrooms around? But what are you all doing?
I suppose we're still heading in the direction of.
Sword wants to hang around with Kaido.
Who's hanging out with Kaido?
Me wondering why a magical talking sword wants to hang out with Kaido.
Because I'm special in every way possible.
Well, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Every way possible.
Every single way possible.
All his possibilities are negative, Graham. Don't forget.
A lot of my stats are negative. All right, that really hurt.
I thought it was just
Also,
wisdom.
I'm fucking rolling a D10 today, so.
Long term, Vow is actually a cursed item, and his stats are draining.
Yeah, right, dude. It's all right. Kaido, just let go of the sword. I can't.
I'm finally honorable.
He's literally giving you negative stats. It's okay, Val. God, Jesus. So are we making camp in this enchanted forest that is not in the Feywild?
I don't think it's nighttime yet.
Oh.
We're going around the water.
Just really exhausted from my perception checks, I guess.
It's like 10 a.m.
10
Who
a.m.
wants to make camp?
Perfect time for a nap.
Are you just like really tired? Like,
I don't know.
did
This day's
Aurora
been
keep
draining.
you awake last night?
Oh.
No,
She
we
was
had
a deer. I was trying not to laugh.
We had an ambush. We were ambushed by like 8 deer, and I had to fight them off.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. Kept the party safe.
Kaido, lying to your friends is unbecoming.
Okay, fine. It was 1 deer, but it was a big deer.
It wasn't a big deer, was it?
It was a medium-sized deer. It was actually a baby. I think it was just born recently and it was hungry. I shoot it away. But I kept us safe from starving.
No, I did that.
Wow, today's been a long day.
Guys, I'm pretty tired.
I think it's time to set up camp. All right.
I guess is there still a clear trail to follow, or is it kind of falling out amongst the Feywildy stuff?
There's still a clear trail.
Okay.
Well, let's follow on.
All right, trying to still head towards the Finby town
Okay.
while inside the forest, or what?
I guess we don't know exactly where it's located, right? Our maps don't say specifically where it is.
Well, you have maps that show like trails within the forest itself and logging camps. You can actually see on the map you have one of which of the trails you were on. As for Finby itself, you would not see that town, no, as it is not within the actual Iron Walled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just continue on with the trail.
Okay. Well, traveling along the trail does lead you a little bit deeper into the forest, but you are only about a couple 100 feet from the actual edge of the forest. You do find a variety of former camps. You see stumps from trees that have been chopped down. You see just areas that have been trampled flat by foot traffic. Looks like this camp that you're passing by has been shuttered for the winter. And I say with your passive perception, Graham, you see a person, you see a kind of person traveling through the forest, not quite on the trail. A green cloak, not the same kind of green and plain cloak that Lucian had, but a cloak that is green colored. Looks actually like it's made of leaves.
Did the Order of the Broken Side? Well, if it's made of leaves, never mind that. I was going to ask if the Order of the Broken Sides had green cloaks. I want to say, right?
They did, yes. They have kind of green plain cloaks. Definitely looks like just wool that had been crudely dyed green from what the various members you met, as well as the cloak Lucian has.
Okay. Graham will silently point out this person and try to get a closer look at them.
Okay. Are you approaching them quietly? They haven't noticed you yet.
Can we send Fiffle to get a slightly closer look without deciding one way or the other?
Do you want me to sneak up on Graham?
There is a guy
with
a cloak of leaves up ahead, just off the trail, and we don't know if he's friend or foe. And I don't.
That sounds suspicious as all get out. I'll sneak up on him.
Okay, Fiffle, go ahead and make a stealth roll. All right.
What do I see this leaf wearer doing?
Okay. Yeah, you're able to approach them silently, without any real. Very light-footed. You make sure to step around any twigs that might be on the ground. Being sure to step on like areas of moss where you won't be heard. Go ahead and make a perception check to get a better look at this person, as you're still about 30 feet from them.
Boo.
They are a medium-sized person. Looking at them from behind, it's difficult to tell, but yes, they have a cloak that does appear to be leaves that have been woven together. The hood of the cloak itself has been pulled up. You see what looks to be sticking out from underneath the actual cloak a sheath from a sword. So it looks like they are holding a long sword. But they are traveling off trail, farther into the forest itself, farther from the actual edge of the forest.
Okay. I'll slink back and say that yeah, it's a leaf wearer, all right, heading into the forest. He's armed.
All right. Well, here we go. Graham is gonna not subtly walk up and like maintaining eye contact with the guy, like have a hand up in greeting and no hand on a weapon, and just kind of make himself known.
Okay. Graham, as you are sure to approach, making sure you aren't silent, you do make some noise, stepping on some fallen leaves on a twig. The figure turns around. You see an elven man. With your hands up in greeting, the elven man's hand does not travel to the sword. Hello there. A friend in the forest?
That'd be us. My name's Graham. Nice to meet you.
What group are you with, dear Graham?
We're with the Crossblades.
Ah. Let's see here. I am a member of the Grove Keepers. He puts out his hand.
Graham will move up and shake it. We got backup behind us.
Would you care to join me by my at my camp?
We're on our way to check out a couple things, maybe.
Just for a moment.
Can I insight that?
Go ahead.
We'll try inciting that.
I'll assist if I can hear that. I can't really hear this.
You kind of get the feeling, Graham, that he's trying to get a read on you as well.
Okay.
And is maybe attempting to determine if you're friend or foe.
We're out here on business. We could maybe stop by, but we're looking for lumber camps and grave robbers. Not necessarily in that order, but both in the wall.
Well, we're no friend of any lumber camps or grave robbers, for that matter.
Might be heading the wrong way at this point. Are those maps pertinent to navigating at this point? The ones we got?
Oh yeah, they tell you all the various lumber camps and trails in the area.
Okay.
Most of them have been shuttered just for the winter, but they are still useful to you.
Okay. I guess now's a bad time to sidebar. I guess we can go back with him to his camp for a minute.
How far is it from here?
Oh, not far at all. Just about 100 feet down that way. You won't be able to see the smoke from our fire through the trees, but I've been in this forest here for some weeks now, so I've begun to learn the various intricacies, like the back of my hand, as it were.
Well, sure. Let's take a wander. Just for a minute.
Heads back into the forest. I take it you all follow him?
Yes.
Yeah. Graham will kind of look back and eyebrow waggle, suggest we be cautious, but otherwise just move up and as normal.
Okay. You eventually arrive at a small clearing. Really, really small, as this area is still thick with trees. But you see a small campsite set up, and in this campsite, you see about a dozen people. Elves, half-elves, and a couple of humans. Most of them are wearing similar cloaks as this man with the leaves. Most of them are carrying swords, spears. A couple of them, actually, really, most of them are armed with longbows as well. Sitting in the middle of the camp at a small table overlooking some maps, you see a figure. They are wearing full plate with the plate itself is interesting because it looks to be highly decorated with, even though it's metal, it looks like it's stamped with leaves and vines all across. The helmet is off on the table, but the helmet itself has deer antlers kind of traveling up from behind it to decorate it. It is a elven man, although he appears to have green skin.
Interesting.
At his side is a long sword, as well as standing next to him is a large deer.
Is it the same deer that was eating our food?
No, this is a large deer with a saddle on its back,
Ah, okay.
That's cool.
as well
I
as
was
bells.
like, please don't be cultists of the spooky forest spirit.
It's close. I was about to do a firebolt.
But yes, as you enter the camp, the elven man you were talking to puts up his hand. I bring friends.
Howdy.
Oh,
Greetings. They all
Hello.
kind of nod to you. You aren't with the last centuries, are you?
Nah, we're members of the Crossed Blades. We're out here on business of our own.
With that, they
Centuries?
just everybody kind of goes back to the work they were doing.
Okay.
Oh.
Got local trouble?
Yes, we're the elven man with the plate stands up. We're in a bit of a rivalry with another group, the last centuries. They call themselves. Normally, our two groups, the Grove Keepers and Last Centuries, aren't in any real competition. But in this one specific case, they have claimed dominion of the forest, as we have.
Dominion how?
We are guardians of the ancient forests and green places. This is one of the more vibrant ones. We've been ensuring that the forest is well respected, ensuring the various lumber workers here are protected, but also only
Protected from?
draw slight amount of trees from this forest.
We're one of our business tasks out here is to find those camps and figure out what's going on with an issue there.
Interesting. And who has dispatched you on such a mission?
Remind me, it has been like a month.
It'd be about the count would have been the first person to mention it, but it would have been mentioned by the Order of the Yard member you'd spoken to.
Oh, okay. Graham will relay.
When he
the
mentioned
count
these
and the Order of
the
the
group
Yard.
names, does that does that fit with the whole story? So it is these two groups.
Yep.
Okay. So what's the disagreement over? Just both having the same territory? You clearly aren't agreeing on something.
It is our mission here to protect the green forests, and the Feywild bleeds into here, so it is more important to us. The last centuries, it is their mission to protect the boundaries between the material plane and the other planes. They call this bleed unnatural. But for us, it is quite something good and spectacular, and it's been here for as far and as old as the country itself is, perhaps even older, so they complain over nothing.
This is unrelated, but you wouldn't happen to know anything about weird ancient forest spirits, would you? Like hostile ones?
Oh yes, there's many hostile spirits in the Feywilds themselves. Various, Fey, who would come in and cause trouble for
Wow, the
those
place up.
investigating
Hang on,
here.
I have that wicker doll still.
Yeah, suppose there was some sort of forest spirit that wants to return everything to nature and doesn't take no for an answer.
Well, that's, of course, civilization and nature can often run afoul of one another, but I simply wish to protect the green spaces from those who would encroach upon it, ensure that it is protected, but also I would never cause any harm to those innocent folk who attempt to simply live their lives as long as they are respectful to nature.
I can understand that. I was just hoping maybe you might have some info from the perspective of someone who knows the woods a little better than I do.
Does Otto hand him the wicker doll?
Yeah, I'll show him the wicker doll. I say we've seen this pop up in making camp a few times, like through our adventures.
Ah, yes. A escapee from the Feywilds, I suppose. One creature that the last centuries would be interested in. We don't follow it specifically, as we are understanding of what is and isn't dangerous within the Feywilds themselves. We don't follow it specifically, but we'd cause it no trouble so long as it remains within the forests.
Does this have a name?
There's several names. The Forest Walker, the Forest Spirit. Some even claim that it's a god among the actual forest itself.
It's certainly
been...
wide-ranging enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. It should actually have dominion over all forests within Viderheim itself, perhaps even more, but it does come and go as it pleases. Its eyes are everywhere, but it is not.
Interesting. All right, well,
I mean, it's been here some few decades, I imagine, perhaps centuries even.
So about your quarrel with the last Guardians.
The last centuries, yes.
Yeah. So the main point of contention is protecting or doing away with these connections to the Feywild?
Well, they wish, yes, to protect the material plane. They've taken up residence in this woods and are ensuring, well, really anything that slips through from the Feywilds, they deal with rather permanently, either chasing it back in or killing it.
Okay. So
when we heard about this, we took up residence to protect those that would fall and flow through the Feywilds into the material plane here.
All right.
Well,
suppose there's any middle ground to be had?
Well, I know your count isn't too interested in us being here. But we have a sacred duty to protect the forests and the green places.
So have the centuries been amenable to any kind of negotiating, or is it complete black and white?
Well, we've attempted a dialogue, but unfortunately it ended in violence. Nothing too serious, just a few injuries. And so we've been keeping our respective spaces until we can come to some agreement.
Okay.
I suppose you could chase them out if you. I know they wish to close access to the Feywild, and the Count of your city of Kirog does not wish that, as it may cause the flow of trees to not meet his expectations.
Okay. So what do you reckon the odds are outsiders could negotiate with him on the Count's behalf? Or is this just going to have to come to blows no matter what happens?
If you wish to negotiate, I mean, as long as you don't start violence, I imagine they'd be willing to listen to you. They have no real quarrel with you. And besides, I can, to an extent, agree to what they are attempting to achieve, protecting people from less planar threats. So
suppose we tried to broker an arrangement between you where you agree to help protect the material from the Feywild, but you do it on your terms and without undue harm to the spirits from. Think they might agree to that? You think you might agree to that?
It's entirely possible. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. I keep making these with a +1.
It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, as long as they didn't harm as long as they didn't harm any of the creatures coming from the Feywild here, they simply chased them back in. I could be willing to work with them.
You think you'd be able to assist them in wrangling them back harmlessly?
Yes, we won't leave these forests, and we will demand that the lumberjacks only take a few trees that perhaps have already fallen.
I got no problem with that. I'm a religious man myself. I understand keeping to your tenets. So I guess can you point us in the direction of their camp and we can give this a shot?
It's a mile south of here.
Okay. Y'all ready? Look back at the group.
Yes.
Cool. Now,
Definitely.
do we bring a representative from y'all, or do we just say that we're here to talk to them on the count's behalf and bring this all up?
I would recommend we would stay together. I don't think they would strictly appreciate one of my folks coming into their camp, as
All
we've
right.
been sure to keep everyone out and separate as best we can.
Okay. Well, let's get to going then. Thank you for your time. We'll see if we can iron this out.
Well, perhaps.
And
But he points down a trail heading south that would correspond to one on your map.
okay. And before we leave, let's check the map and see if we're near any of those grave sites or not.
None of your maps you have actually show where the grave sites are.
Oh, just the logging camps. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, never mind that then. Okay. And we don't need to speak to them directly, guys, right? We just need to figure out what's going on with these two.
How big is this camp that we're in right now? Like, how many people?
It's about a dozen.
Hang on, cat's going.
Oh, did we see any half-elf women while we were here?
You see two half-elf women among the various people in the camp. Majority of them are elves or half-elves, with like 3 humans.
Did they match the description we were given?
No, they do not.
Okay, that was it.
All right. Are you heading to the camp for the last centuries now?
I think so, yeah.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, following the trail that he pointed out, you head down about a mile south. Takes you about 20 to 30 minutes, but you do eventually arrive. The camp itself is more defended. You can see wooden stakes have been placed around the actual camp that they're occupying. The people here are primarily human, but you see a good mix of dwarves and the occasional half-orc, as well as a halfling and a gnome. Most of them are decked out in kind of medium armor, you would say, studded leather armor, or something a little more like splint. It's a dark blue that kind of blends in very well and with the shadows. They are armed primarily with spears, swords. Most of them have either guns or like muskets or actual bows. They really don't seem to have a lot of the kind of decoration that the previous group had. One of the humans stops you. Halt! Who goes there?
Okay.
Well, state your name.
Hi, I'm Fern.
Fern. Whereabouts are you from, Fern?
We're from. What's that?
Round.
No,
Our place
where
from-
are you from?
Where am I from?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I live
No, like-
in.
Originally.
That's kind of rude to ask. But how dare you?
It is our goal to protect the boundary between the various planes and the material plane. And
Mhm.
you look like a resident of the Feywilds.
Well, I live in Vaxhall, so
So,
You guys are gonna interact. She's a member of the Crossblades.
yes.
There's a
another
problem
person
going on
comes up
here.
and they just kind of whisper to one another. Very well. What is your business here?
We came to talk to you.
Yeah.
About?
We're trying to broker some sort of agreement between you and the what were the Elven guys called?
The Grove Keepers?
Goalkeepers.
Yeah, the between you and the Grove Keepers.
There's nothing to discuss. They wish to keep the boundary between the material plane and the Feywild open because it causes this forest to grow more vibrant. And we
Well,
wish
it's
to
not
close
just
it.
them that wants that; it's the Duke that does, and he sent us. And we're trying to do this without anybody having to get hurt, one way or the other.
Well, we don't want any violence, but you have to understand creatures from the Feywilds flow through into this realm occasionally, and they can be dangerous to people.
Oh, we
It's-
know. We've had a couple run-ins, but nonetheless, we came here with a proposition we were hoping we could get you to a table with. The Grove Keepers are willing to work with you on getting the natives of the Feywild back where they came from without harming them. That keeps the material plane, nice and safe, and it keeps them from violating the tenets of their own order. And they're certainly experts on the Feywild. They'd probably be a good boon to you, and vice versa.
Could see their help. I was just going to wait for the Count to kick them out eventually, as they've been cutting into his actual log production.
Now, they might get higher log quotas, but they might be temporary. We're just here to try to resolve things as amicably as possible, and that seems to be the best compromise anybody can get.
Well, Unfortunately, our position is we wish to seal off the actual Feywild from the material plane here. If we were to determine how to do that, then our mission here would be done, but they don't doubt they would agree to that.
You don't even know how to seal it?
It's difficult. It's been open for quite some time. Centuries, millennia, perhaps.
Have you considered that maybe if it's been around for thousands of years, Viderheim developed as it did because of that connection?
Oh,
The planes inform the planes. I speak for the dead, and I see the tapestry that they make on the living.
oh, of course, it's possible, and more than likely than not, it has caused that to occur. But the real issue is that if it grows wider and the border begins to weaken even more,
Well, if that happened, wouldn't you want some local experts who can help you prevent that?
Mm-hmm.
make a persuasion check.
I'm doing this with a +1. There we go. We're never gonna get a peaceful resolution to fucking anything.
Probably not. But then, if they close the Feywild, if they actually do manage that, wouldn't the forest pretty much kaput? Their strong wood production is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
will not
this
recover.
group doesn't care about that.
Yeah, it will not recover, and Viderheim could, in essence, go backwards. And then the spirit that's out there loose is gonna be kind of mad at them, and that's not gonna be pretty.
It will. That's a good point. I'll work that in. I'm gonna mention, in terms of having faced dangers from the Feywild, the forest spirit, and also point out that a cornered animal is the most dangerous. And if you cut it off from the Feywild, then
It won't go back.
it's
It
gonna
can't
have
go
nothing
back.
to lose.
It can't go back.
It'll just declare war on the material, and it's pretty spooky on a professional level. I gotta say, that's spooky.
Well, it's true that that creature is dangerous. By cutting it off from the Feywild, we might be able to cut off some of its power.
Is that the kind of gamble that you should put on a should've or might? You got the entire, let alone the material plane, you got all the people who live in Viderheim to think about for that. Whereas, if it's been open this whole time and life has flourished here, material world life, why close that now and take chances?
Graham, go make a persuasion check at advantage.
Someday I'm going to have to take training in this skill.
Want me to roll it?
I mean, I would roll it, but I don't think I've spoken up for this.
I didn't speak at all. So
Yeah. Well, 13. Now, I'm not asking you to completely forsake your duty to protect the plane. I can respect that. But I think working together, you'll catch more flies with honey than vinegar, if you follow me.
The various people in the camp kind of huddle around and discuss. Takes a few minutes, but eventually they break off. You raise a good point of a number of different things. Unfortunately, yes, if we were to cut off access to the Feywild, then our order probably would be hunted down by the Count, at least on Viderheim itself. I don't like balancing politics with my duty, though.
I can understand that. And not for nothing, again, as a religious man myself, my duty is to the dead, and I don't really have the option of severing the dead from the living. Whenever that happens, things get bad. So I've had to learn to have a foot in both worlds, as it were, and maybe I could give you some help on that front.
We will work with the Grove Keepers if they're willing to work with us.
All
or
right.
at least we'll have a discussion with them to ensure that there is no more violence. We don't wish to hurt them, and we know they don't wish to hurt us, but we just find our situations to be mutually exclusive. But we are willing to allow the borders between material and Fey to remain open for the time being.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll get word back up to them, and hopefully we can all meet and make nice around a table.
We will send out some scouts to put forth a peace offering, as it were, and we'll make a discussion. We'll attempt to arrange a time to discuss with them come the next week, I imagine. This will give us some time to get our thoughts and organized and hammer out some details.
All right. Thank you very much. And I think we're ready to be on our way, fellas.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like kind of just draws Valor like I've been waiting for. Like no.
It's time, Val.
Graham will.
Kaido has done the most honorable thing that he could. He stayed quiet the whole time.
Purgation.
No.
Graham will give a friendly tip of the hat, and we can set off to find some grave robbers, I guess.
You after grave robbers?
Yeah, that's one of the things that brought us out here. We're looking for an escaped prisoner. I believe she was a mage of some stripe, and without resources, has been resorting to grave robbing to get some.
Well, I haven't seen any graves to rob, but if you're looking for the town of Finby, we occasionally send out people there for resources.
As a matter of fact, we are.
It's about halfway south. Do you have a map with any trails?
As it happens, we can produce the map.
He kind of points to a kind of twisting, winding trail that really does not look like it leads to where you want to go, but he mentions, follow this trail. It actually follows the lowlands and has a more defined path. It will take you to Finby in about half a day's time.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And if you happen to need the roads, the river's starting to dam with ice, so we broke up what we could, but you might see some flooding along the way.
Oh, yes, expect that. It's my third winter in Viderheim. This isn't even the deepest of the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway, take care.
Safe travels to you.
Safe travels.
Graham is, after we depart, going to take out his flask and have a celebratory swig of bourbon for a change. I don't know what to do. I feel like the dog that caught the wagon.
Hang on. We can all just give him like a round of applause.
This has never happened to me before.
Except Kaido, like he looks disappointed.
Yeah. You're
Kind of.
right. I'm a little depressed.
Kind of wanted violence, wanted to kill.
No, not violence, but to kill. I think Val needs blood.
Does
Time for honor.
does
What if Val
does,
doesn't think blood is honorable unless it's necessary?
He needs dishonorable blood. the blood of dishonorable people.
Unfortunately, Lucian's not here.
Do I have to link you some self-harm resources?
Well, I gotta run. Feed the sword some
Alright.
blood for me.
Okay. Bye, Jeremy.
Piffle disappeared, guys.
It's cool. He just made a really good stealth
See
check.
you guys next week.
See you, Jeremy.
Technically succeeded.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's head south, I guess, and get this.
Yeah, head to Finby.
Okay.
I feel like Otto just bursted out into like a freaking like monologue. It's like these stupid asses. This is just gonna bring all these deer and elk are just gonna like trample them and eat them alive.
Otto
That'd be a hell of a way to go.
might need a refresher on how deer act and what they eat.
Well, we're talking about an angry forest spirit here, so I don't think they
He
care.
means like angry forest walker deer, not regular deer.
Yeah, not regular deer.
Not the deadly ration-eating deer native to Viderheim. It's actually like it's like
native to
Australian
Kaido
native
land.
fauna.
Kaido land.
The deadliest thing on the continent. Just inadvertently avoided a CR-20 encounter.
I can see that. Kaido inadvertently pets something dangerous.
That's the Tarrasque.
He befriends a Tarrasque, and all of a sudden, in like the final battle, the
Yep.
Tarrasque comes. I'm here to help you, buddy.
You
Thank
can
for
only
being so
roll a
kind
nat
to me.
20
Just-
on
just-
the
yeah.
one Tarrasque.
Always rolling terribly, but the one time it counts, I do an animal handling check of a nat 20.
It turns to a 19, and you're sad, but you did
And
it.
Aurora's over there looking like, why is he
What?
petting that thing so nicely? He always like slaps me when he
You
does.
know how like every single father in history pets a dog, they just like pat him really hard. Good boy.
Yeah, that's normal. You just gotta get a big dog that you can pat kind of hard.
That the dad doesn't want and then becomes best friends with.
Yeah.
All right. I guess onward.
All right.
Onward.
Following the trail that was pointed out to you, you eventually are able to exit the forest at a small town. This probably is smaller than Hornstad, but it does it does flank like the actual like road itself that you had been traveling along before you entered into that flooded area. The town itself is you just see like a variety of buildings, mostly residential, but it does appear that there are like you see a two-story building that you would probably figure to be a tavern or an inn. You see a building that looks like it might be a general store, and you see a squat stone building that looks to be a temple.
Yep. That looks like the place.
What time of day is it?
It's about 4. It's getting
Getting
it's
dark,
it's
yeah.
night at this point, or close to enough that it's difficult for anybody without dark vision to see.
Okie dokie. Let's go pop into the temple. They usually are
Yeah.
welcoming.
You see a number of people who are exiting the temple. Primarily, it would be dwarves. In fact, it looks to be entirely dwarves exiting the temple.
Cool.
But the cleric, you only really see one cleric. Looks to be an older man, stooped over a bit. His beard has gone completely white, but has been braided. He is wearing a nice bright robe of a variety of colors. You find him in the midst of putting out some candles that had been lit.
Howdy.
Yes, how can I help you?
Reckon it's us that are here to help you. We're the Crossed Blaze, and we got sent out here to help look after some sort of grave robbing going on afoot.
Good, finally. He puts out a hand. I'm in Jazat Underforge of
Graham
Clan
of the Potter's
Underforge.
Field. Graham shakes his hand.
Good to meet you. Yeah, there's been rumors of a person who's going to be taking some various goods and treasure from the barrows of this area, the clans have asked that they not be disrupted, as it is important for our ancestral worship.
Okay.
Can you can you
Can
tell us
we
the
stop by
location?
the tavern or something and grab something to eat while you tell us what you know, and we can come up with a plan here?
Yes, yes, come with me. It's I could use it. Could use some dinner. He gathers up a bunch of like scrolls and leather journal, stuffs it in a bag, and he takes you across the street to the tavern, which doesn't really even have a name, as it's the only one in town.
It's just called Tavern.
Doesn't even have a name, tavern.
We can call the tavern with no name, and then they can name it that.
The Screaming Dwarf.
Ah! Oh God, it's really fucking loud in here.
Wait, were you around for this?
The screaming halfling.
I was not.
That's what my tavern's name is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fiffle got exposed to some,
The fantasy
Hallucinogenic.
mushrooms.
yeah, that caused him to freak out a little bit.
And thus the
The
Screaming
legend
Halfling
was
born.
born.
I can't wait to see how they're doing.
You've been out of Vaxfall for quite some time.
Maybe like 3 weeks now.
In game, yeah. Out of game, like
6 months. Not quite, but it feels
Maybe
like
I think by the time we get there, we
think
might be
it's been
like
like
a month and a half out of like Maxwell.
I think it's been
we
like
just get back and the
3.
fucking Winsong Manor is up on cinder blocks. So we took the catalytic converter out of the fucking furnace. Like, god damn it!
But he takes you into the tavern. Inside, you mostly dwarves. You do see the occasional human or half elf around. You also see a number of people who look to be like half orcs, as well as humans, kind of like in their own little corner in the side there.
So from what we know, the grave robber has also hired iron masters. Do any of these fit that mold?
Yeah, the looks to be the people in the corner, the half orcs. They are wearing similar colors and have similar looking like iconography to the various Iron Masters and the Iron Hands you've dealt with in Vaxfall.
Okay.
Graham will kind of mutter to the priest, watch out for those fellers. We reckon they were hired by our robber to provide some protection.
Actually, one second. Oh, yes. The Iron Masters. They are a local gang of thugs that have been causing trouble for us, but for the most part, they've been keeping to themselves.
I think they'll be a lot less helpful when they figure out we're here to stop their pay. Graham's being quiet and circumspect about this.
Well, they're. Well, I don't really know. I don't deal with them too often. They don't come by the temple. Although we primarily
We've had a couple of run-ins. They're another outfit, sort of like ourselves, but they're much more, pardon the term, mercenary about it. They don't really care about the particulars of what they're doing or who's hiring them.
And last I heard, they run gambling in this town.
Well, maybe that'll keep them busy.
And charge protection for any travelers to or from along this road.
Yeah, that sounds a little more familiar.
Toll, as it were, but...
Well, Graham will get us a table. And, if it's a big enough place, I guess I can order. Well, no, we've got. Fuck it, I'll order food.
Okay.
Because our stuff's bland. So, Graham will order food for the priest and for the group. How much is that?
Total of 3 silver.
Okay, deducted.
A young dwarven woman takes your order, takes the money, and about like 20 minutes later comes back with some beer and some stews. Looks to be like a beef stew with vegetables, beef. It's hearty, fills you up real well. Does taste pretty good. The cleric, Jazat Underforge. Oh, so you're interested in the various crypts here. Well, we have a few dozen in the area. Few that have been overgrown by the actual forest itself, but the majority of them are down below south, either along the river or perhaps a little bit to the southern edge of the forest. So the real question is, which of the crypts are you looking at?
Well, any that are likely to have been mucked with, or ideally if we can get ahead of that. Which ones would you say are least well watched? Because were I trying to break in, that's how I would do it.
Well, we've certainly had a few that people have been attempting to break into, which is why we've sent a request to the Count to assist, as we've noticed some of the openings have been tampered with. I suppose if you were really... No, that's ridiculous. They would never.
They might. What are you thinking?
Well, there's a lost clan, Emberborn. They were wiped out during one of the Wars of Independence with the Orwellan Empire. But they had turned away from worship of what would be considered a more agreeable sort to least agreeable.
You think maybe somebody who knows that might target one of their tombs because nobody would be there to mind it?
That's entirely possible, but it'd be very foolish. They turned their worship from the god of magic Inyad to worship of Rygar and Erst and Kolti. So I definitely wouldn't recommend anybody travel that way. The other thing to keep in mind is that the crypts themselves are protected.
Yeah?
Well, yes, this isn't as done anymore, even if we still bury our people within the crypts, but at the time they would be both heavily trapped as well as protected by guardian ancestral spirits.
Okay. Suppose that's not a deterrent to somebody, because I believe the suspect we're looking at is an escaped mage of some accomplishment.
Well, if you were a mage, would probably be able to handle some of the various tricks and traps of the crypt. But yes, we wouldn't. Any iron or any Emberborn crypts would not be ones that would be taken care of anymore, but they're also the most buried.
Those, can you mark those on the map for us if they're not already? Circle them. Graham lays the map out on the table.
Let's see here. Any Emberborn? Well, we only have 3 I'm aware of. The rest had been so covered up that we assumed they're simply hills at this point. But he marks off 3 X's on the map. These are the 3 that I'm aware of. They would be more south around this area here. If you continue traveling down, you'd have to go about 3 or 4 days south. But you'd be eventually able to find those crypts. If you're going to be investigating to prevent any robbers, I won't cause you any trouble there. I just simply ask that you not take any treasure or gold from those crypts, as they are important for our ancestral spirits to actually have that in the next
Dirty
life.
look back at the rest of the party.
Why are you looking at me?
Does it look like anyone is paying particular attention to the conversation that he's marking?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, keep an eye on those guys.
Kind of like
perhaps.
looking around.
Yeah, well,
Make a
you're doing
perception
that
check.
discussing. I'm just kind of watching to see if anybody's trying to ease in.
Perception.
I would also be watching. So if she needs to roll at an advantage, I guess I would help.
These would be independent rolls, but Vern does not see anything. Most people don't really seem to be paying you any real mind. Not even the Iron Masters.
That's good.
Of course.
Otto, you're not really sure. Like there's a decent number of like people in here right now. Mostly dwarves, making you probably one of the tallest members in the like one of the tallest people in the actual tavern itself. But yeah, Gisette continues on. Well, that's the ones I can tell you about, at least of Emberborn.
Did we find out any others or just the Emberborn?
How long is this conversation taking? Because I would probably have done maybe
Been like 15 minutes.
If she's a mage, I probably would have done detect magic at the beginning too.
This guy is specific.
No, like around us to see if anybody's using magic to try to.
You could go ahead and cast detect magic if you'd like.
Yeah, I would have done it at the beginning.
You don't really notice like any magic in the area. None that you can see.
Okay, and I would just refresh it until we're done with the conversation, since we're gonna have a long rest anyway.
Nope, you don't see any magic.
Okay.
Cool.
But I suppose if somebody is going to be investigating these, I would purchase tools. You could check maybe with the general store. You could also see if anybody was hired to assist. Miners. I mean, most of the people here are of the dwarven clans, but you occasionally find a non-clan member who may be willing to go into the crypts for a reward, or even some of the Iron Masters themselves.
Worth a thought, perhaps. We'll see what we can see, and start heading out that way probably tomorrow morning, first light.
I would definitely recommend getting a room. Or if you would like, I have some spare rooms for travelers in the actual temple. They are not comfortable, but they are free.
I could go either way. Kind of look at the rest of the group.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, doesn't matter. We could stay in the temple. I mean, we sleep outside, so.
You're not wrong.
Rabbit bringing facts to the table.
Turning point, Viderheim.
Viderheim.
Well, all right then.
I guess we'll stay with you, and thank you kindly.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. He brings you back to the temple. Brings you into back rooms. The actual room itself is just a semicircle with cots all around and a small fire pit in the center that just leads up through a chimney. Cool. The pit itself, you get puts in some firewood. It's not really well lit, but it does keep the room somewhat warm. Well, here are your beds for the evening. I will be up for first light for morning service.
Cool. I can't think of anything I need. You guys good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I like that.
Thinking how honorable fucking Kaido is being right now. It's impolite.
We're all honorable and shit.
I'm really hungry, actually. Not Kaido, Rami's really hungry, but I feel bad ordering DoorDash in this weather. I think I might just have to go and do it.
I mean, it's not too bad. It looks like it's just a little wet out there. I don't think the snow is sticking.
That's all right. I'll probably just do a pickup and go get it myself.
Right.
She's a little sun.
If you think about it, if you don't do DoorDash, somebody's gonna get sent home early.
It's what?
Somebody's gonna get sent home early because business is not booming.
Yeah, but I used to work in like delivery and restaurant services. You always want to go home early
Yeah.
Even though you always want like more hours at the same time, it's the
Yeah.
constant struggle.
The endless dichotomy.
Yeah, I need more hours. All right, can you stay after? Definitely not. Absolutely not. You're crazy.
Just can't do that today. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. Or when the manager comes around, who wants to leave early? I'm like the first one to say I want to go home early. Even though like
Release me.
literally yesterday I was like, listen, I need more hours. It's a struggle.
And they look at you when they say, "Who wants more hours?"
Yeah, not me.
All right. The night passes without incident. You awaken. The fire has mostly gone down to just the embers. You can hear the shuffle of people in the actual temple as the cleric is giving prayers. But you are able to sneak out through a back exit if you didn't wish to actually go into the temple proper.
Graham will stay for the service real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. 6 hours later.
And because we're in town, let's buy breakfast.
Yeah.
Graham will do that, or give money to somebody to do that.
Graham doesn't speak Dwarven, does he?
Speak something, but let me check.
Do
Let's say
you
no.
remember-
Just move
Do you
things
remember in
along.
Endwalker where the Estidian spends an abundance of money on stupid shit? That's what's gonna happen with Michael right now.
I'll go with him to make sure he orders.
Yeah. Graham, you don't understand what the cleric is actually discussing, like what the prayers are, what he's referencing. But he seems to like do a good job from what you can see. It's basically like going to a church when you don't speak the language.
Cool.
How long do you stay there?
Not long.
Okay.
Get ready to get out early. Long enough for somebody to run and grab rations or something.
Okay. The tavern itself does have food. Looks to be just a kind of porridge, spiced up a little bit with some of the things they have available, but pretty bland for the most part.
That's fine. It's that or literally magically flavorless food, and I want to save a level 3 spell slot while we've got a town to start from.
But for 3 silver, you'll be able to purchase enough for everybody.
Done.
All right. But it's early morning. I mean, by the time you finish, it's probably about 9 a.m.
While Graham is doing that, can I send somebody to the general store to buy those tools and other stuff suggested?
Okay.
And
Who's
I don't
going?
know who wants to do that, but
I'll go.
General store speak.
All right. Kaido's going to the general store.
Okay. What are we getting from the general store? What are the special things we need to get?
tools, and I don't think he said anything else, did he?
What special tools for what? Remind me.
Just so we can get into places.
Okay.
Because we're going to be going for hypothetically sealed.
So like
graves
thieving tools,
tombs.
stuff like that.
Basically, just stuff to get in. Ideally, without destroying anything.
Excavation tools for
excavation
like archaeology.
tools, lock picks, stuff like that. Okay. Got it.
All right.
All right, I'll head over there.
Kaido heads to the general store.
Yes.
Okay. Inside, you see a kind of middle-aged dwarven man just manning the front counter. The store itself looks like it primarily supplies farmers, lumberjacks, some fishermen, but there's like a good mix of anything you could really think to find there. Ah, hello there. Oh, traveler through our town, huh?
Yes, we're new to these parts. I'm looking for some tools. I was hoping you could help me out with that.
Oh, yes. What kind of tools are you looking for? I got all sorts.
Excavation tools, lock picking tools, things like that.
It's not something I typically sell, but it's funny. You're actually the second person who's come in looking for something like that recently. Anyway, let me get you some shovels, picks, things like that. It's probably what you're looking for. Axes, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Put it all in. You said second person, so someone else today was it, or
No, maybe like
background.
3 days ago.
3 days ago? Okay. Maybe one of our friends from our group decided to come a little bit earlier than us. Could you describe this person? What he looks like?
Yeah, there's a half-elf woman.
Half elf woman. Gotcha. You
Black.
didn't get a name by any chance, did you?
No, I didn't get any name from her.
All right. All right, I'll give him a gold just for that information. Thanks. If you remember anything else while you're collecting those things for us, I'd really appreciate it. I hand him a gold. Just for the
thank you.
info.
Now for the actual tools themselves.
Yep.
Let's say 2 gold for the whole kit and caboodle.
Okay.
Your friend who came by the other day, you know what else she got? Rope and a grappling hook.
Okay, let's put that in there as well. Let's get some extra rope and grappling hooks as well.
Okay, 1 more gold then for 50 feet of rope and a grappling hook.
So 2 gold for 100 feet of rope and 2 grappling hooks, right?
Yep.
Let's just do that. Okay.
All right.
It's a lot of items I got to write down now. Holy shit.
But that'll get you into what are you excavating exactly, friend? I didn't.
You're always trying to get prepared for stuff. We're going into some runes.
Can I show
into
up
ruins?
because Can I show up and like looking for Kaido because he's taking so long?
Sure.
There.
A Otto walks in the door as the bell rings.
Like, hey, was looking for my buddy here.
So one of our old friends, I look at Otto and try to give the slightest of wink to him while I say this. One of our friends was here a little bit earlier, a halfling woman.
Half elf.
Half elf, or was it halfling? Oh,
Half
elf.
elf.
A half elf woman. Buying the same kind of things we're buying.
Just see where she was going. Been trying to catch up to her.
Yeah. Did she say where she was going?
No, she just came in with some of the like a few half-orc fellas, dwarf. Yeah, they were buying some stuff, loading up on a cart. I was helping them bring it out. It was kind of funny. The cart was covered in a thick tarp, and they wouldn't let me look under it.
Interesting.
Anyway,
is he talking in common or dwarf? And he's
this would be common.
Okay.
Just there's something funny I noticed is all. But it's not my business looking in carts, right?
Right. And for my list here, what did I buy? I bought 2 rope, 2 grappling hooks. What else did I get?
You bought 2 shovels, 2 picks, and an axe for cutting wood.
2 shovels, 2 picks.
2 days ago.
And an axe, you said?
Yep.
I was deep in thought.
Okay.
Which direction does she go in? After you...
Down south, I think.
Okay. Gotta throw him a gold. Thanks. This guy's making out.
Yeah, the guy made so much money off of it.
Yeah, he probably made a good $500-$600.
Like several years of income for his town.
Just for talking to Kaido. Kaido's gonna be like get a statue made out of him.
Right. I tell him, thank you very much for your time in Dwarvish as we're walking out with a lot of shit.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. Make sure to please come back anytime.
I'll be your informant any day.
Customers of the year.
I love narking.
All right. When we get back to the group, I'm just going to relay everything that the guy told us as well about.
Cool. And I can actually vouch for you. You were slow.
Excellent.
But you were
thorough.
thorough.
I wasn't slow. I was quick.
But you were thorough.
Slow and thorough.
We're gonna start printing out like gold stars when you do a good.
I'll put it on Val. I'll keep track of it.
He'll love it.
Val's already decorated with stars.
87 decorated gold stars.
Yeah, Val is decorated with stars.
Cool.
But more stars.
More dots.
All right. Well, you have some excavation supplies.
All right. Cool.
Sweet. I hand out some stuff to whoever wants them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand out all the rope and the grappling hooks to whoever wants them. I don't really need them since I have the boots, so I feel like other people on the team might need it a bit more than me.
Sidebar, interesting news thing just came out. A U.S. Experiment just managed to get more energy out of a fusion reaction than they put into it.
Cool. put it in my car.
We're not
Oh,
gonna be having fusion engines for a little while yet, but
Boo! I'm
it's
tired of buying gas.
it's literally better than not.
Bacon.
bacon.
All right. So it's about 9 a.m. Sun's up. It's cold. The town does have you see the road traveling, down south as well as north up to Kirag.
Cool.
What do you all do?
We bork.
You bork.
Sorry.
I guess we
It's
head.
Aurora.
Let's head towards those keeps that were or keeps crypts that were from the old clan, the one
Yes.
that's no longer around.
Okay.
And we can keep an eye out for any fresh trails to deviate.
Well, if you're looking for, I mean, the road itself has cart and footprints on it.
How fresh are they?
Make a survival check.
You want me to do it? You want me to help?
Yes. Somebody help her. I'll D4.
I will help.
Hold on.
Winston, if you're not gonna drag the cart, be quiet.
Okay.
I think she... And I think it was at advantage, so
Yeah, you
We'll
can roll
just-
again.
Okay. 19. All right. So Fern, it looks like a number of carts and people have actually left town. So you definitely see at least 4 distinct carts. They range in age from having left last night to probably 5 days old.
this would be 4 to 5 days
But
of
they
vital information.
Cool. Onward.
Okay.
We could probably follow those to Fucktown.
Okay. So you just follow the road.
Follow the trails.
All right. You travel down south. Traveling the day passes. Eventually it hits nighttime. You figure you're about 2 days from the actual crypt, or at least the area that had been marked.
Assuming the trails still go that way, keep going that way.
Okay. You continue traveling down that way for an additional 2 days. Then a third day, when you find yourself in a somewhat rolling field that has been cleared of actual trees. Some have started to regrow. They are probably only a few decades old, so they're not as tall and thick as some of the other trees in the area. But you do see the kind of area of flat plains that have the occasional grassy hill among them. Make another survival check, Fern.
A
I'll
D4.
assist.
Okay.
And D4.
And
Bam.
you would definitely see a cart trail about 3 days old that has cut into the actual ground and is heading towards the some of these hills. And these hills do match what had been written on the map for you.
Okay, that's good.
Following the trail into the area, you do eventually find the cart, an empty cart that has a tarp that has been thrown over it and is parked around behind a hill. Looks like some digging had been done in order to actually open up what you now realize is not a hill but is actually a burial mound, and you can see the just this thin tunnel that is only 3 or 4 feet wide, but does go deep into the hill and down. you don't see anybody in the immediate area. You just see the cart with the tarp over it, and then the opening to this burial mound.
Okay. Perception to look around to see if there's footprints.
Go ahead, make a perception check.
I can help.
Please do.
Okay.
A D4.
Cool. Hang on.
All these modifiers.
Nice.
Graham, you see the occasional footprint. This area probably hasn't gotten any real snow to cover up some of the tracks. You see what approximately 6 tracks of like 6 different people. Most of them, about 3 of them, are thick boot prints. Look to be somebody like belonging to people who are tall and heavy. 2 of them are for look to be shorter footprints, but are also very heavy. The last set of print looks to be from somebody who is lighter than the other people they are with, smaller, with a slight heel that just digs into the ground a little bit more. And honestly, with that 24, you notice on the actual cart itself a little bit of gunpowder.
Hell, they're gonna blast it. Graham will point that out on our way forward.
Okay.
Should probably hustle.
All right then.
I'll also point out the trails they've left.
Okay. You're entering into the barrow?
I think so.
Okay. Then, well, one thing I'll do, I'm going to move this down a little bit south there. And I think we will call it here, and we'll pick it up next week as you are entering into this actual barrow crypt to try and find this.
I was going to actually say it's probably a good ending spot.
It's a good spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.